Hello, dearest ones, fellow light beings, souls living as physical bodies at this time on this earth. I'm Virginia from Divinity School and Soul to Soul. Hello to you. Tonight, I wanted to talk about something that has been helping me to get in touch with those soul questions as the I Am discourses that I was reading today was talking about, there is nothing hidden that is not revealed to me. And of course, that's from the Bible. But if there's anything that you feel like is hidden that you would like revealed to you, for instance, maybe the desires of your heart, if you're wishing to live more from the heart, or even a moment-to-moment question of, is this right for me or is this right for me? Or maybe deeper questions of, what is my soul truth? What is it that my soul is trying to tell me right now? What is it that the energy that I am is trying to tell me right now? Or what are my beliefs that are actually deeply stored in my unconscious and the soil of my subconscious that are going to come to manifestation? And so these are a couple of techniques that I learned, and this is coming from a kinesiology standpoint. So as Neville Goddard says, our bodies are our emotional filters. And as Louise Hay and many other teachers tell us, for every physical response that we have, there's a spiritual reason for it. So these are techniques that help us to use that which can be expressed through our musculature, through kinesiology, to tell us what is deeply stored in our subconscious or unconscious, perhaps things that our conscious mind seems to be unaware of, but that are really what is going to come into manifestation, and are deeper unconscious truths that are actually really running the show, if you will. So this first one, I'm going to share 3 techniques with you. This first one, a lot of you probably know a lot of these. And again, you guys, please share your resources. It's such a beautiful thing for us to just come into that present moment and ask our heart or our soul what the answers to some of these burning questions are, whether it is, again, what do I actually desire to do right now? Do I desire to do this, yes or no? And these are kind of yes or no techniques. Or is this my divine purpose, yes or no? Is my love meant to be expressed this particular way, yes or no? And just by asking, obviously we're going to receive. Nothing will remain hidden. But these are some beautiful ways to let our unconscious show us what's stored there that maybe seems hidden to our conscious mind, but can then be revealed. So this first one is the pendulum swing, and you can use anything that will swing. And a rosary, a mala, but really just any necklace or even a string, as long as it has enough weight to it that it can swing. So you really want to hold your arm more at like a level, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show it to you like this. So you bring it to stillness. And I want to thank my friend Susie for reminding me of this the other day and for originally teaching me about it years ago. I'll share with you guys a story that's already come true immediately for me upon pendulum swinging. So you bring it to stillness, and then you just say, show me yes. And maybe you guys saw my arm make a little movement there, but it was involuntary. Okay, so show me yes, and it'll swing one way, and then show me no. Okay, and then I'll swing the other way. And then you can start by asking really basic questions like, am I making a video right now? Am I brushing my teeth right now? And you can start by asking questions like that, and then you can go to deeper questions like, do I really want to take this trip? Should I do yoga right now? If you're maybe wondering what you should do first, in what order. And you'll find that there's your stored in your musculature, stored in that emotional filter of your body, there is what you really desire. And another one of these techniques I learned from an amazing video of a woman who I just discovered today. I believe her name is Jasmine, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. And I will put a link to her video in the About section or in the comments, so you can check that out there. Oh, but before I get into this, I just want to tell you guys what happened with the pendulum swing for me. So I've been feeling at a, whatever you want to call it, fifth dimensional knowing in my spirit knows that my body is about to move, and perhaps that's because, you know, in my imagination in the fifth dimension, I've been many places lately, and it's time for my body to follow. So the other day, Susie reminded me of the pendulum swing, and I went to it, and I haven't, because I've been so many places in my imagination and don't know how those are going to line up in the physical world, I first asked, am I going south? Because I've had so many imaginings of places in South America and further south than me, and it was a definite no. And I said, am I going north? Definite yes. And I said, am I going to Mexico? Yes. Am I going to the United States from there? Yes. And so I thought, wow, but I mean, you know, I was like, okay, well, that's what's stored in my subconscious, so somehow that's going to come into physical manifestation. I also asked, am I going to be leaving within the next 2 weeks? Yes. And I thought, of course, you know, in this time of travel restrictions and everything, I have no idea how that's possible, but okay, that's what's stored there. Today, I received, that was 2 days ago, today I received a message from a friend saying, hey, we're coming through Shayla, where you are. A group of us are on our way up to the Mexican border and then going to a small beach town on the Pacific side. You know, what are you up to? And I'm like, going with you. So that's just an example of a real life example of this from my life. And of course, you guys will be updated on where I'm reporting to you from for Divinity School on this physical journey as it manifests along with the spiritual one. So the second technique that I learned about, again, this was from, I believe, Yasmin, I believe is how you pronounce her name. She brought this up in regards to much deeper questions, and it was actually in regards to asking how many lives you've lived on Earth. So asking, you know, but a yes or no question. So like, have I lived, you know, over 1,000 lives, yes or no? And it's this, you bring the chains together, chain links together, and like an infinity symbol as well, and you ask a question, and if it breaks, the answer is no. If it holds, the answer is yes. And so the other question that she was saying that she had been working with a lot of people on asking was, is this my last incarnation on Earth? But again, there's so many questions that you could ask, and you'll know what, you know, which technique calls to you in regards to which questions. But that was the first time I've learned of that today, and I asked some pretty intense questions, and from relationships to number of incarnations to, is this my last incarnation? The answer I got for last incarnation was yes. And when I asked how many times I've been incarnated, I asked if I'd been incarnated. I mean, the question that immediately came to me was, have I been incarnated over 1,000 times? And yes, it did feel like I already knew the answer to the question, but that's, you know, I've been tuning into my intuition a lot. And the answer I got was yes. And there were some other questions I asked about relationships with certain people that I was, you know, surprised by the yes or no, but also was like, yeah, like had that piece of knowing, a deep knowing. So I'd love to hear how these are working out for you guys as well. And again, any other suggestions you have. And then the last one I just wanted to throw in that I remember when I was thinking about all of this and tying it together and making this video, I remembered that I watched a Wayne Dyer video where what he did was, you can put your arm out, but you need another person for this one. So this is a 2-person one. So you put your arm out, and then you have people, and again, you can start with easy questions, like with all of these, to kind of get the hang of it. So like, you know, am I brushing my teeth right now? Like, I'm using that one again. I'm definitely not brushing my teeth right now. We've confirmed that. You know, am I my mother's daughter? Has my mother been my daughter before in a previous life? That was also a question I ask because my mom and I have been talking about that recently. And yes, absolutely. So with this one, you can start by asking, you have another person push on your arm, and you can start by asking simple questions, you know, are you at your house right now, or whatever, and just get the hang of it. And Wayne Dyer also talks about how he learned this from a kinesiologist who has a really good book that I can't remember the name of right now. But if you Google Wayne Dyer arm kinesiology test, I'm sure you'll find the video. And then you can have, and if your arm goes down, then the answer is no. If you can hold it, then the answer is yes. And it shows how much. Also, the other thing that he has the person do is think really, so he basically shows how negative thoughts make you weak as well in your musculature system. So he has the person think about the person that they love the most unconditionally, and like he absolutely can't get their arm down. And then he has them think about someone who they haven't forgiven or who they hold a grudge against, and they're just so weak immediately. And another test that he has done with that is he has, the kinesiologist says this, you can hold objects against your heart and then do it, and then you can know what the vibration of that object is. So if it's a low negative energy vibration, you're not gonna be able to keep the strength in your arm. If it's a high energy vibration, no one's gonna be able to push your arm down. So those are just a couple of techniques, 3 techniques that I think are, you know, we are here in these physical bodies right now, and so those are some beautiful ways that we can ask our heart or our unconscious or our soul what it is that we really desire if we're feeling unclear. Obviously, as we get clearer and clearer with our intuition, you know, these just drop right in, and they don't need to come through the physical body in this way. But this is just a practical way. And again, as I said, it's already something that I asked the pendulum and then literally 2 days later got a confirmation of. So not surprising, because this is just what's stored. This is what's stored. This is what's in there. But if you're looking for a practical way and maybe just a quick decision-making way, you know, and I really love this one, right? You don't need another person for this one, and you don't need a pendulum. So this is probably the easiest one, but I encourage you guys to experiment with these, and I can't wait to hear about your experiences. I can't wait to hear other suggestions that you have, and I hope you guys are having a beautiful, beautiful night. I'm sending you lots of love and light, as always. The light in me is the same as the light in you, and may we shine together, always and forever.